John Lennon detailed one of his biggest regrets concerning the Beatles in his last interview before his death. The late musician was a member of the legendary British rock band with Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr from 1960 until 1969. Formal dissolution of the famous Liverpool band occurred in December 1974, just before its members became worldwide celebrities. A press conference was held by Paul in April 1970 to announce the group's breakup, but John had already quit in September 1969 without telling the public. With the release of Let It Be in 1970, they called it quits after their final concert in 1966. John spoke up about his life with the Beatles and his early years in his final interview with writer David Sheff, which took place on December 8, 1980, the day before he was murdered. Originally broadcast on Playboy, the 20-hour conversation with John Lennon and Yoko Ono was later adapted into a book in 2000 under the title All We Are Saying: The Last Major Conversation. It was in that interview that he expressed his sadness about the lack of publication royalties for the Beatles' catalog and how he had always tried to help out George and Ringo. John allegedly informed David, "It was because of me that Ringo and George got a piece of John and Paul's songwriting," as reported by American Songwriter. All of John and Paul's works published by Maclean Publishing Company are fully owned by them, thanks to manager Alan Klein. There was a part of me that felt terrible that George and Ringo didn't receive publication royalties. Regrettable, but not to the point that action is warranted. Throughout the time of Klein's maneuvering and management, he went on to say, they were able to have the chance to get just 5% each of Maclean, which is still a substantial sum for songwriting, because I was their advocate. Just because I am the one responsible, not because of Paul or Klein. Paul was unable to refuse. Therefore, he had to respond with a yes. I was the one who prompted them to get it. I didn't get any compensation for George's or Ringo's songs, John continued in the interview. Specifically, he said, not even the recognition was something he asked for when he was a contributing artist to George's song Taxman, as reported by High Bar. The reason he sounded resentful about George and Ringo was likely due to their treatment of him about the publishing royalties. They had said, John has forsaken us, and John is tricking us. John continued by saying this. John felt more integral to the Beatles than George and Ringo, notwithstanding his regrets over their lack of publishing income.